everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Next Level Fitbiz Show. Before we get into today's episode, I just want to give you a quick reminder to make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel Next Level Fitbiz Show so that you never miss another episode. And secondly, make sure you like the Facebook page Next Level Fitbiz Show. All the shows will be added from YouTube to the Facebook page and then shared out amongst the community. To make sure we have a bigger impact and make sure this show is a great success, I would appreciate if you guys like, comment and share all the episodes that are posted out onto Facebook so that we can have a bigger impact with the fitness community and help more fitness professionals. So let's get into today's episode with Aaron King and Fit Clinic. Hey everyone, welcome to the Next Level Biz Fitness Show. And I'm your host Jarrod, and with me we're in Prestons in Sydney, New South Wales. I'm here with Aaron from Fit Clinic. How you going, mate?
Yeah, not too bad. How about yourself?
Yeah, pretty good, pretty good. Awesome. All right, so just first question, I wanted to start off. How big is this whole facility that you have here?
365 square metres, so that includes the mezzanine area where we are at the moment and the gym floor down below us.
Okay, cool. All right, and how many staff do you have working here?
There's 5 in total. So that includes reception admin, personal trainer, exercise physiologist, podiatry and massage therapy.
Perfect, cool. And what sort of demographic are you training?
If I was to put it down to the majority of the people that are training here, they're most likely middle-aged professionals, so anywhere from 30 to 60, and they've tried training in some way before, and they may have some health concern or things like back pain, or they've had a previous shoulder injury and they're just looking for someone to assist them with a personalised service that's able to take them from or be concerned around their health history, and then be able to train them appropriately in either an individual or a group setting, but just give them that sort of more tailored approach. That would probably be about 50% of the people that we would see here.
Yeah.
The other 50% can range almost everything outside of that. So that includes people as young as 9 and as old as 90. And we're looking at, or we do train a couple of sports teams as well that come in and use our facility, that being netball, soccer and rugby league.
Okay, cool. And how long have you been open for?
I've had this facility open since the very end of February. The second last day of February was when we opened. Prior to that, we had a smaller facility about 5 minutes away from here, which we just outgrew, and I needed to expand, so we expanded into something that you see here now. Okay, Aaron King from Fit Clinic. Let me show you around. Okay, so when we first walk in, just to my left, or my right now, we've got our reception area and also an area that we utilise for a lot of our ball work, stretching, relaxation, a bit of communication and socialisation as well. And then that's separated by where people just pop their bags as we're working out just in front. Bathroom, kitchen, we've got the important things set up, water, coffee and fridge for your lunch. So all the important things, and we keep going through. So over on my right now here, we've got a number of our both rehab and bodybuilding type equipment as well, because we do see a number of different clients which range from rehabilitation to performance. So the equipment that we have here ranges along that spectrum. So just over here we've got a number of treadmills, leg machines like pull down, upper body cables. And over in the corner we've got some of our metabolic conditioning equipment, so air bikes, rowers and things. Through the middle is our track, three-lane track as you can see. It's set up to be in the middle to act as a bit of open space as well, and it can separate our two different areas here. So in the middle we use this for, again, open area for some running drills, rehab drills, but also we've got our sleds, farmers carries, ropes and things like that we can utilise through the centre. And then just behind us is where we keep all our equipment, just tucked away in the corner. but things like juggling balls, bands, ropes, cones, all the nice and exciting things, box jumps, for step-ups, jumps, things like that. And then this is our freestanding 6-cell rig, so we can set up 6 different stations and have 6 individuals working along the way. Each station has a set of rings. A few are set up at different heights because that allows us just to quickly interchange depending upon how tall we need it, whether we need the low rings or whether we need the high rings to actually get off the ground. But we can set up each station individually for every single person. We can either double the people up or we can have them working individually at each station and have 6. I've set it up so there's monkey bars through the centre. I just really wanted monkey bars all through the centre because I liked it as kind of cool. It's one thing that we don't do much of is reaching and grabbing things overhead, so I wanted to incorporate a lot of functional movement in here. And I think I've been able to achieve that by the rig setup. In the corner is a free weight section, so we've got all the other bars set up in there, kettlebells, slam balls, dumbbells. The bars, dumbbells, plates, we've got various ranges. They go from half a kilo to 25 kilo plates and 1 kilo to 40 kilo dumbbells. So for most people that we see, they lie somewhere in the spectrum. So that again allows us to see both the rehabilitation and the performance side of things. This is up here, and we've got some consulting area upstairs as well. So we've got our upstairs, we've got massage and consulting rooms, and a bit of an open area as well. So let's upstairs. So as you can see here, it's just a bit of an open space that we do some of our consult and private discussions in. Around the corner we've got a couple of consulting rooms. There's a consult happening at the moment, so it won't go through into our massage consulting room. But in here we also have body composition scanning device that allows us to quickly check up on people about their body composition, body measurements and things like that. And this is where I can just open the door and oversee and have a look what's happening. It's a pretty good view from up here. So in regards to the layout here, I had a few thoughts as to why I wanted to lay it out this way, and how you see it is probably about 90% of the way of what I thought before it was even built. And the only thing that I changed from my initial drawing is just the position of a few bits of equipment. But what I was thinking, I always wanted to have a freestanding rig because of the versatility. So a lot of our equipment here, I've thought about versatility and used for a specific purpose. Because we see both the rehabilitation side and the performance side and everything in between, I want to make sure that I appropriately covered all those areas. So here we've got the freestanding rig. It allows us to utilise the 6 stations at once, either as individual clients are there or doubling up or tripling up, so we can have anywhere from a couple of people to full teams. Each station has a set of rings on them, set at different heights, because that allows us to, depending upon the exercise, just quickly interchange without having to change them around. But it's coming off the top, as you can see behind me, because I wanted to just keep it fairly compact so it wasn't in a separate area taking up a lot of space. And I put the monkey bars through the centre, again for that versatility, to keep it as compact as possible but still get as much work and many different options within the unit. And setting up, we've got 2 mirrors, more so just for technical reasons, just to look at what we're doing as far as technique when we're training. And the dumbbells, barbells and things are over in the corner, just because I felt that was probably the easiest place to place them, so because the rig is quite centered. Have the track running through the center, because that allows open space. So this middle section could be used for all the sled work, farmers carries, and just anything that you would use the track and the open space for. And it can sort of separate the areas. I just wanted to create as much open space in the middle as possible, so the track in the middle has allowed us to do that. And that's the same reason why we've got a number of our machines in the corner, or along the side, because again it allows for that as much space as possible. If they were in a different area, it would probably feel a lot more enclosed. And then if we're looking just behind us, because we've got the mezzanine above, I wanted to consider what equipment I was going to put in just underneath, and I felt that having sort of a stretch, relaxation, socialisation area was best under the mezzanine, because we lose that height under there, so I didn't want to put any of the equipment that we've just shown underneath there, but it's probably best served with our reception area and also the stretch console areas there. And I've even tried to utilise a lot of space under the stairs by storing a lot of our equipment there. And then we've got the kitchen and the bathroom around the corner. That position I couldn't decide where that was going to be. That was already, the shell of that was already there and the plumbing was already there. But typically everything that we've set out today was how I intended it, and that's pretty much why we've set it out.
All right, so that was a great gym tour that we just went on, that Aaron took us on. So now we're going to sit down and talk a little bit of business. So when it comes to business coaching, where do you get that sort of information from?
I've done various forms of business coaching over the last 3 to 4 years, and it has progressed depending upon what I felt my largest need was. So I sought out the coach that I felt provided the advice that I was looking for at the time. So at the moment, I'm working with Real Movement Project as one of my coaches, or the mentorships rather, and that includes both the personal and professional development as well as some business coaching. So that is fairly spread between training type coaching and business coaching. Prior to that, I've looked at or been involved in allied health specific coaching, as I'm an exercise physiologist, and we also work in the rehab performance space. I looked at the traditional allied health model of service, and I utilised coaching around that early on. And then now it's I felt that I had all enough tools to then progress to something a little different moving on from that. So that was more allied health business coaching, and now we're looking at more the physical training or holistic performance business and lifestyle coaching.
Yeah, cool. And what memberships do you offer at Picton?
Yeah, so we can package any of the services that I mentioned before that we are running or we do have into a membership. So often people have our silver membership, and that will include having access to our open gym, so meaning that they can train at any time they wish within our opening hours, and then they can come along to any of our group training sessions and then be provided with their regular assessments, and also have access to things like our body composition scanner. So that is included in some of our one of our packages, and then people can choose to add services to that. So people can then choose to have a massage a month included within that, or then they can have what would be deemed, I guess, personal training or exercise physiology programming with that. So that would be either weekly, twice weekly, or fortnightly, or rather 3 times a week. So they can package it in any way that they need, and we sort of have 3 or 4 packages around that to determine what they need and what's best for them. So that's the main model that we run here, or the offers that we provide. I've found that works quite well, because there's not, with the increase in gyms, there's around here there's a lot of gyms within a 5k radius. There's essentially one on every second corner that I could count. The typical model that's being run at the moment is a lot of access but not as much service, which works really well, and that works for a good percentage of people, or a percentage of people. But then there are people that are looking for that increased level of service, that want someone to watch what they're doing or be available, even if they're training on their own, being able to just
have someone always on site, but we're always watching and helping them. So even if they're coming on their own, they're doing the programs that we're designing. No one typically comes in here and does whatever they want without being assessed or getting a program from us. So even if people are coming on their own, with our coaching, we're always here to help them and we're always watching them. And at the same time, they're doing our programs or things that we've discussed to get them the results that they desire. So that's why I felt we've packaged the model in that way, because there's a lot of other people servicing the other end of the spectrum, but I felt that there was a gap where people didn't know what to do, they wanted help but they didn't really know where to go, and that's where we fit in that. We do still provide the allied health services in the traditional model, where you might see a massage therapist, physiotherapist, exercise physiologist, or podiatrist, where you would go and see them as you go or ad hoc, and for a treatment plan, or you might see them for a set period of time, come and see them and then be discharged, so to speak. We do run that because people still do need that for their programs, and we have the services here to do that. But that also allows us to train those people, and then if they wanted to continue going beyond that, then they would move into more of our other coaching packages where they could package it all in together. Some people choose to do that, and that's great because then they know that we've trained them and discharged them from, I guess, their rehab program, but they've decided to stay because we know all about their history and what we need to do and keep an eye on them at all times. Some people come in for their rehab or for their general training and that's where they start, but other people start on our other, I guess, traditional allied health model and then transition into our normal coaching packages. So there's a coaching package program and there's the traditional allied health model, and we're blending the two.
Cool, that sounds good. And last question, you've been in business for a long time, so what would you say some of the pros and cons are of running a facility?
Well, that's a pretty big question.
Maybe a couple. Two.
Well, I think you need to love what you do and do it for the love, because especially in the very early stage, you're going to do things that you would see as quite hard. You would typically work longer hours than any potential employee or when you're employed. I probably to start out, I probably didn't work as long for as little income to at least start. But I know that it is what I want to do and what I love and what I continue to love doing. So I want to make sure that I do and provide the right opportunities for people around this area, and that's really why I'm doing it, because this is the area that I've grown up in southwest Sydney. It's the area that I want to remain in, to be able to help the people around, because it's quite a diverse area around here, and there's a lot of need for the types of services that we run, because there's, like I said, the gap in the market, or the gap in the available services to people, or that I felt anyway. So the con to business would be, it's typically going to be harder than what you think. And there's going to be a lot more involved. And there's a little bit of thought around it being initially glamorous, but the buck stops with the business owner. So if anything works well, you can obviously congratulate yourself and the team with that. If it doesn't work well, it's ultimately back on the business owner. So you do need to trust yourself, back yourself, and know that you're doing the right thing, and it needs to come from a place of passion. Because if you're not passionate and enjoy the process, then it probably won't work out all that well. And sometimes you do get stuck in the grind, and that's why having some external assistance or external people to bounce ideas off, because business ownership can get quite lonely. I guess there's a lot of people around, but it takes a certain level of understanding to understand the roller coaster that entrepreneurship is. the positives are you really get to do what you love.
Yeah.
And while I work, I guess I would typically work a lot of hours over the week.
Yeah.
It ranges anywhere at the moment between 70 and 90, so it's 2 full-time jobs. But I wouldn't have it any other way. I also have a supportive family that really help me to do what I do here, because I've got a wife and a daughter,
Yeah.
and they're really supportive of what we're doing here, and they're involved in the growth as well. So you need the support of the people around you to make sure that you can grow and you can develop, because if you have people that aren't as supportive, either find people that are supportive, or you got to consider whether it's for you and your surroundings to do that. So that's both the pro and the con. It's extremely challenging, and is probably going to be more challenging than you imagine it, and you almost have to fail a number of times to learn, although it is better to learn from other people's failures. So you're still going to fail at some point, but to fail, it means that you're doing something important, or you're trying new things that isn't necessarily easy. And I think that's important. To do anything big, there's probably going to be some steps along the way that you might falter or fail or things like that.
Yeah.
But I really think the pros are just being able to develop a system and a program and a philosophy that you believe in,
Yeah.
and that you really find is going to be the most supportive direction for what you're doing.
Yeah.
So without a doubt, it's the long-term goal that you're looking at to develop the facility or whatever it is that you're doing in business, or fitness, or both. But it's looking at it from a long-term point of view, while still being short-sighted and making sure that you tick the boxes along the way. And by that, I just mean that you need to make sure that the people that you bring in, you're supporting, you're making sure that you're doing what you say you will, and you're still enjoying the process along the way.
Yeah.
And I think there's some of the really important things to look at.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't have it any other way. It's both trials and tribulations,
Yeah.
and I wouldn't have it any other way. I really enjoy it, and I think it's definitely the way forward for me.
Awesome. Cool. Well, that's a wrap, guys. Thank you for watching, and thank you again, Aaron, for having me in Fit Clinic. And where can people check out more information about Fit Clinic?
So I've got Facebook, so the handle is Fit Clinic AU, FITCLINIC AU, and also Instagram at Fit Clinic AU. They're probably the best places to find us, and also YouTube. The channel is, again, Fit Clinic AU. Pretty consistent across both YouTube, Facebook and Instagram.